Come on now. Cool. No data. I can't join customs then. All right, for game one, we are going to Volskaya. You. Yay. All right, boys. We have liftoff. All right, Minion miners. Get ready, boys. You're in for a doozy. What the heck is this emote spam? Why the heck am I caring about it? Wait, what? Okay. Let's hope that there are no radio casts today. That would always be a shame. Let's see what he rolls up to. Ah, he's back to Storm League. we get? What's... Oh. Okay. What are we waiting on right now? Yeah, Majesty, I really wish that we ended up starting. This is probably going to take a while. There's some funky business going on. Good grief. I really should have canceled out on this one. Everybody's ready now. And we're starting. Here we go. Alright then. First couple of bands are coming out. Let's see here. Do we see the legendary Deathwing band? No, it's Lucio. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Wait, what? They have first pick. Okay, they have first pick, right. New Barack's band. Ain't that interesting? That is actually really interesting. What's the deal with that? Okay, it's Tank Joke. Sylvanas is picked over Rhaegar, Blaze, or Junkrat. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. These drafts are already going in a way that's totally defying convention. Let's see who gets the better of whom. Deckard.
So it begins.
Tychus.
It's about time.
Alright, this means that Minion miners have both avoided being joked on the healer any further, and they have Tychus, which can counter out a lot of siege potential. They gave up Rhaegar for that play, though, which is quite odd. And Leoric and Tychus are both good clearers of the Protector, meaning neither team really has to fear the objective until very, very late game. But our friends on ProBUs already have access to something that is very useful, which is Sylvanas' Black Arrows. They can take out forts for free even when the objective isn't up. Variant? Continuing with the tank choke. Ain't that a thing? Meanwhile, what do we see on the side of ProBUs? How do they respond? Do they ban the Deathwing? Do they ban the Cho'Gall? There's lots of things that could happen here that they wouldn't have a fun time with. Though they already have the Leoric. So maybe it's not as big a deal as I'm thinking. Well, we'll see. Sonya, okay. Joke the offlane. It's one of the ones that hasn't picked yet. I can dig that. Now what do we see? If it's Cho'Gall, it has to happen now. Having first pick always makes Cho'Gall better. There it is! Okay. Okay. This is great. Heck yeah. We already see something ridiculous. Oh, Minion miners never change. Meanwhile, ProBUs, you know, I don't even know what they want to do here. They already have percent damage. Holy percent damage, baby. Holy percent damage. Anyways. What else is there to think about? Deckard's an odd healer with Cho'Gall. There's some combo potential there, but honestly, the 3-man protectors are going to be the weirdest part of this. Thrall. Yeah, personally, when it comes to drafts, I'd definitely give this to ProBUs. They have way more macro potential, way more wave clear, and way more ability to push with any advantage they develop. Minion Miners is probably going to be constantly behind this game when it comes to wave clear and deep pushing. We shall see, though. Anyways, I'm going to... Whoops. Casting. Let's see here. What else is there to say at this point? Well, Zagara's percent damage is good. Sylvanas can build into it. Leoric's going to be a real problem, especially with Entomb. How do Minion Miners win this one? That's the question. That is the question. It's going to be a tricky one for them. Anyways. Whoop. We have 8-Bit on Mei, Muffin on Sylvanas, John Bunyan on Zagara, Irby on Rhaegar, Sage on Leoric. And on the side of Minion Miners, we have Marshall on Thrall, Wesgara on Deckard, Himsoup on Cho'Gall, and Sir Mac of Cheese on Tychus. Talents coming out. Callous Tide is a classic. And yeah, we're seeing the percent damage builds. All of them are doing that. Heat transfer, auto attack reduction, and Taskmaster. This makes a lot of sense. Should be a lot of value in. Oh my word! Here it is! The fires start from the beginning. Marshall is left forcing to chase Muffin away. Built-in Echo of Elements. And look at that! Zagara's already starting the chip. Two-pronged attack from ProBUs here. If they keep this up, it's going to be impossible for this Cho'Gall to respond. Absolutely painful. Honestly, though, one of the biggest problems, Majesty, especially with auto-attack build Cho'Gall, which is the best diving build in my opinion, is Mei. Point-and-click lines is going to make it really hard for Cho'Gall to be able to consistently get damage. Well, let's see. What are the results of Chip? They've already lost a tower and a half in terms of siege damage. And having a Tychus do the clear. I don't know about that one, Chief. They're going to get this turret down pretty slow in comparison. Even though ProBUs is starting slower, they're probably going to finish it first, and by a good margin. That gives ProBUs more time, position. Oh, and they're putting Leoric in the 4-man as well. Just thought that's worth noticing. Gives them a lot of versatility. They've already started this healing camp. It's definitely a conundrum. Imsoup's not going to let that happen. Charges in. Ooh, that is a lot of root potential. Trades been forced on the swap. No objectives were used out, but Cho'Gall was chipped. That trade went, unfortunately. At least Marshall is getting time to clear while Zag also pushes out lanes. Double Force coming out. It is an auto attack build Cho'Gall. This is going to be tricky. Yeah. Oh. They just keep trading? It looks like they're constantly putting it on the Gall trait. Making good use of those healing numbers to keep the HP up. But they're definitely going to suffer for that. Let's see here. Right, it's number 2 that's damaged, correct? Yeah, when it comes to damage, you can see Gull's definitely doing a lot here. It's going to be hard for Joe to keep up.
Take control of it to pilot the match.
Alright, both camps have been taken. Minion miners opting to clear first and put pressure on top side. Muffin's not going to let that happen and steps up. Meanwhile, however, 8-bit and the healing objective need to stay there. This fight is uneven, but the combination of BTA and the Cho'Gall and the root means that they can put a lot of pressure down here. We've got good value. And it's leaving 8-bit with the question of, do I actually help my team here? Because they're continuously pushing. Or Mac and Cheese can't finish Sage off with BTA. The finishing blow will have to come from someone else. Ultimately, this is probably a good trade for Minion miners unless... Well played on the side of 8-bit. Taking this thing down here means that Mac and Cheese is going to have to take a long time to rotate. Anyways, give me a second. Okay, problem solved. There it is again. The multi-pronged assault and probes is really out-traded. Marshall is absolutely not going to be able to hold here. At the same time, there's really nothing there to reinforce him. Time they're sending the Cho'Gall onto the point as well. But they're going to be slower. They've lost a lot of initiative on the side of Minion miners, and they're going to have to look for something serious. 2 ults. Actually, come to think about it, virtually all of the ultimates picked so far are fairly conventional. Oh, Mind Control and Ma are both weird. And they're going in. Or... oh, that's several ultimates used on the side of ProBUs. They've taken a lot of damage. And it looks like Sage drops. Not mistaken, that's death number 2 overall. Oh, dang. Wait, when did Deckard die? I don't remember catching that. Stay a while. Laser drill. I'm not sure I agree with it, but it can siege. Imsu sneaks out. Ice Wall catches him. Wesgara's sleeping. Uh-oh. That's a dead Wesgara. And likely a dead Himsup as well. Yeah, that sleep was really inauspicious. Just a bit of tanking advice. It sort of applies to Deckard here, but think about it like this. Crowd control is like mage abilities. That is, it's instantaneous burst. It happens. Once it's happened, unless you've got a cleanse, you can't negate it. The best thing you can do if you have crowd control, and the tanks just CC'd anyone on your team, the best thing you can do is apply that crowd control to the damage dealers. You can't stop the CC from happening, but you can mitigate the results of that CC. Anyways, we see the Minion miners has lost the central fort here. Rotations are going to get a lot harder, and it's unlikely that they're going to be able to keep up in soak from this point on. Both camps taken pretty much simultaneously. Marshall and John keep on smacking away. Muffin doing a lot of damage. There's another mind control. Shove tries, but there's the entomb. Everybody's sleeping. Himsup just barely makes it out alive. Ancestral's forced out on Sage. And 8-Bit also got chunked there. Meanwhile, Marshall has to run away from the Hydralisk. And Himsup is left with a difficult choice. Keep the soak going. Ooh. Here's where things get difficult. Cold Embrace is going to be a problem long run. Are they? They were considering the invade on the side of Minion Miners. That's a bit crazy, especially being down 13. However, we see Spray and Pray, Twilight Nova. There's definitely going to be a good CC chain available to Minion Miners if they make it through long enough. Entomb, forced out. 8-Bit brought down to a smidgen of HP. Meanwhile, however, Marshall is probably dying. Mutual kill! Heck yeah! Marshall manages to take out the Sylvanas before expiring himself. But that means that John can take another fort here. There's nothing stopping him from doing so. Meanwhile, there's no guarantee that this objective does anything for the side of Minion Miners. Heck, there isn't even a guarantee that they take the objective here. Ooh, 8-Bit getting chunked. Wesgarok catches the others in the blind. Minions wake Sage up. And meanwhile, John takes out that fort. And Marshall's left to pick up the pieces. But we see it. The all-powerful 3-man protector. Capable of immense damage that mere mortals cannot comprehend. However, there is a clear talent tier disadvantage. And with the access to the Leoric, it's very difficult for Minion Miners to press safely here. Especially given the fact that, oh hey, we're actually looking at an auto-attack build on the side of Sage here. They're really going strong into the percent damage. And once Zagara picks that talent, they too will be able to do immense percent. Marshall's almost certainly dead here. Marshall's dropped. Sir McAtees is doing some good numbers here, but there isn't really anyone to kill. At the very least, Himsup can Q away. I'm sorry, did I say Q away? I meant Q in. Oh, that's a 2-man maw. This might be the end for Minion Miners. They just lost a lot of people, and Sylvanas still has black arrows. Instead, it seems like they're opting to acquire resources for the next fight. Alright. Not totally against that line of attack, but with Sylvanas, they definitely could have, on the side of ProBUs, pushed out more. Because we've reached the point in time where Cho'Gall's about to become absurd. Looks like they're opting for the push anyways, but feels like that window is already closed. And, yep. There's a realization. And they back out. However, they've got no small number of turrets. 3 in total, along with a healing camp. It's going to be very difficult for Minion Miners to win the next fight, even under optimal conditions. Safety in numbers, super healing potion, okay. Himsup going in on the fly. Offense, probably just going to disengage. Wesgaraz getting struck down by Sage. And he walks out, nice and safely. Ooh, 8-Bit probably dropping here. Not before dropping the turret, though. That's the type of pick that Minion Miners needed here in order to win. If they can just get to 20, the talents become absolutely massive. Molten Blocks used. Gonna negate a lot of that percentage damage and give time for potions to be put down on top of him. But can he still make it out alive? And the answer is just barely. Oh my word! I was holding my breath there. Now, Muffin's also just barely getting out alive. The combination of stuns and roots is really giving Minion Miners the superiority. And oh! Another failed Ancestral! John is probably next on the chopping block. Totem peeled, but the turret is dropped. All of those objectives, all of them were used there. And they have nothing to show for it. Top 4 is still alive, and Minion Miners is going to town. Still a race to 20, though. They're still behind in that regard. The combination of BTA and the Cho'Gall really makes for an interesting DPS arrangement, because the Cho'Gall ramps up in damage around the time when BTA is no longer effective. 20s reach relatively fast. Oh dear, this could be a nasty pick here. Minion Miner disengages. Marshall gets caught though. That's probably his death. Oh, Marshall's getting a lot of healing, but it's probably not enough for Wesker, who just gets caught. It's quite unfortunate for Minion Miners, but Cho'Gall continues to press. It's a dangerous prospect, though. There's a lot of percent damage here. Ooh. It's another close call when it comes to mind control. Those are going to be coming out a lot more frequently now, the 20s there. And we see the level 20s coming out. Shifting Nether. Interesting. Another one that missed. Earthen Shield. Wait a minute. Percent max health with a Cho'Gall. That's pretty awesome. Fuel for the Flame. No range Cho'Gall. I don't agree with that, but we'll see. Oh boy. This is probably a dead Cho'Gall. Nope, it's a Tychus. Ugh. That is super marginal. Still anybody's game, though. This hasn't been fully channeled yet, and it can still be killed. Look at that potion size. It's practically a fourth of Cho'Gall's health. Pretty remarkable. Oh, Marshall manages to dodge. John Bunin is getting chunked, but still escape. Keep it though. Ah, the Ancestral is off! Mind Control hits the Deckard. And Him-Soup is almost certainly going to die. Oh. Ah, there goes the game. That's a 4-man team wipe. It's probably just a straight walk to core here. Is there a mac of cheese? Almost certainly can't pull off a miracle. Yeah. Can't chip it. Sage is likely going to follow up on him. Oh wait, mind control. Wait, Sylvanas is in there. Okay. Quite approved, but okay. Fine. And there goes her mac of cheese. GG has been called. A little late, but the spirit is there. Alright. It was a good match. Ultimately, though, the sheer weight of the percent damage beat out the Cho'Gall. That and pretty consistent early pressure by ProBUs. They'd already built their win condition by the second objective bot side. So even though the minion miners won that, you know, didn't really matter. Well, win one goes for the side of ProBUs. All right, we're going to Dragonshire. Wait, what? Okay, come on now, you behave, you little icon. Oh, come on. Sensitivity on these things can get ridiculous. It's like, dang it. Oh well.
Dragonshire.
All right, here we go into game number 2. Come on, mini miners. It's time for the underdog game. Lucia ban again. I'm guessing it's targeted. And we're seeing the tank pool reduced again. And yeah, that's a pretty predictable first pick. Wonder how many miners will respond. Junkrat's still open. Blaze is still open. There's a lot of good picks. Oh, Sylvanas is taken instead. And Brightwing. Brightwing's pretty good on this map. Can serve as a mid lane anchor and can Z into Area of Crisis pretty much at will. Lots of useful stuff you can do with it on that map. Nice. Oh, hey, it's the Zang again. And the Leoric. I'll be. They're really getting ready to counter whatever Minion Miners wants to put out. Okay, there it is again. More tank choke. More shenanigans. False stat. The globalist agenda is real. And what else?
Reckoning is at hand.
Okay. I knew Daryl was on the table, but I wonder why here. It definitely seems an odd choice. Especially given the fact that they've already shown both their DPS and neither is particularly strong. Alright. Ready? Cassia. Cassia's alright. Not sure what it contributes to in this team, but, you know. At least there's no CC to stop the Cassia from having the trait. What else is there to say? Gazelle was an offlaner pick. That's an interesting one. It might be a choice to say, hey, if you're going to put Zag or Leoric against me, at least we can have someone who can handle both. But other than that, Gazelle is not a particularly popular pick. Takes way too long to set up. His ults are inconsistent at best. We'll see how he fares against either Sage or John. And we are going into game number 2. Will this be the end for the Minion Miners? Or will they start set the stage for a comeback? ProBUs showed themselves to have really great discretionary thinking. They were capable of multi-focused thinking. They developed a winning strategy against the Chokeall. They stuck to it and ultimately took the victory. But Minion Miners has shown us another chaotic and unusual comp. And oh, I knew I forgot something.
Heroes, prepare
Yeah,
for combat.
that's supposed to be on the board. Oh well. All right, talent's coming out. Definitely looking to be a shifty build. Dwarf block is taken here. Not quite sure who that's intended for, but should see value. Q build Cassia.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the
And
battle
other than that,
begin.
the talents are fairly standard. I don't know if they can see that, but I hope they can. Poor Muffin. His hands are going to be in so much pain. Alright, looks like John is heading bot lane as an anchor. It's going to give them a marked advantage to what the heck is 8-Bit doing over there? Crazy flank there. Lots of skirmishing. Creep's already set up for John. And Wesker has already used the Z. Lots of craziness just happened there. Creep tumors are being killed in the tri-bush. Ooh, Himi dodges the Q with his Q. Herein lies the problem. John is going to maintain bot side. And meanwhile, whoa, huge gank on a Muffin. It's not going to quite work out.
Worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power?
Anyways, as I was saying, meanwhile, John is clearing out this lane. And they're going to have to respond on the side of Minion Miners to that on a regular basis in order to keep themselves safe. Bit of soak, being caught by 8-Bit. Minion Miners, if they really wanted to, could probably stage an instantaneous invasion, but if that's happening, it's happening on the other side of the map. 8-Bit steps up, forces people in, takes a bit of chip, and then runs away. Meanwhile, Irby and Muffin just going to town on these camps. Marshall's going to be left with a pretty serious situation here in a few seconds. It's likely going to force the Z out on the side of Brightwing in order for him to be able to hold it. Meanwhile, 8-Bit's watching the tri-bush. Hemibo continues with stacking. Ooh, Sledgehammer. Ain't that a thing? Wanton Soup walks in and gets out. That was pretty uneventful. Oh. Meanwhile, Hemibo is forced to escape. Taking a lot of damage here, doing a lot of sidestepping. Oh, and Muffin's here as well. Hemibo's forcing out several globals. Meanwhile, Muffin immediately rotates up to get the DK. And Sir Mac and Cheese was on that camp the entire time? I'm amazed that I missed this. 8-Bit is likely going to be able to walk away here. Unless just enough damage. John is left with a pretty sizable lane to clear, but there isn't really all that much that can be done to actually clear out this DK before it kills towers. Ultimately, the chip damage is going to be very much on the side of ProBUs here.
Such a feeble. That beast is not my weapon.
Yeah. Oh, Planet Soup is probably... No, he doesn't get dog bit. He just barely makes it out. Hemibo, meanwhile, has to deal with the chip. And yeah, we're starting to see that persistence. Marshall having Wesgura take over for the lane. Meanwhile, another tower drops. Hemibo's catching the Zerg. The Banelings. But he can't catch the Globe. It's a lot of chip and there's no DPS to help him. Meanwhile, we're seeing... Oh my word, it is the Bruiser build. Heck yeah. It's highly aggressive. Makes Meridian picking block here make a lot more sense now, actually. Oh. Give him the axe. I've never understood the appeal for this talent, personally, but if you make it work, you make it work. Secret weapon, that's... Yeah, it's an auto attack build, false dad. And festering wounds. Meanwhile, Sage is going to have to get reinforcements here, but there's a lot to clear out on the minion miners is creating. John is probably going to be able to just use that movement speed bias and walk away.
Will soon be activated.
Sage is having a hard time trading into Marshall. Big Game Hunter, Rocket Socket. Yeah. All of these are really good talents into what Sage has to bring to the table. Put simply, there is a strong combination of shields, which, you know, make percent damage, shall we say, less effective. Honestly, if you want to beat a lane bully like Leoric, champions that have high self-healing, low existing, you know, HP, and alternate sources of survivability like shields are probably the best. Weirdly enough, that kind of means Murky is a really good counter to Leoric, but we don't talk about Murky. He doesn't exist. Meanwhile, Falset's jumping in. Sage might drop here. There he goes. It leaves Marshall with a lot, and ooh, this is where things get spicy. Wait. Oh, that's what Minion Miners is doing. Their basic strategy is pick one guy and say fuck you in particular with all the ultimates. Ooh, Wesker dies to the things. Sylvanas also dies. John dies. A lot of death just happened there. Amiibo might be next on the chopping block. Meanwhile, Marshall's holding the lane. But that's just not true. The other side of the game board. Ultimately, it's likely going to drop some assistance. And when that happens, it's going to be up to Wesgara to rotate to counterbalance that with their global. Meanwhile, another camp's being done by the side of ProBUs. Ooh, Marshall's in a good position to ambush Sage with a bit of damage. Sir Mac and Cheese tries to catch it, but 8-Bit just prevents it outright. It's likely the top side is going to be handed over in a bit. Wait, Sir Mac and Cheese tries again. Fails this time, voluntarily. And Muffin takes a bit of damage. Amiibo blasts it. And topside has been taken by Sage. Marshall's looking in. Out for blood. Does a good chunk of damage. But doesn't recapture the point. And instead, oh, it's looking like Sage drops here. Meanwhile, John takes control of the point again. While both of the DPS are topside. It's an odd split of forces, but it's one that makes sense given the situation. Marshall looks to split push some more, while both the DPS rotate around looking for DK. Means that it's... Oh, this is 2-on-1. There's very little chance of Marshall actually making it out of here alive. And with that, everything might just be falling to pieces for the Minion Miners here. Wait, they got a DK. Never mind, they're fine. 8-Bit is sent on a magical journey. And our friend False Dead, whose name I forget, is, you know, going about murdering a tower. Not the most efficient use of a DK, but take the victories you get. Both teams are fairly even on Soken. Ain't that weird. It's a Windrunner build. DK's definitely taking a lot of damage here. Ooh, it's only Wesgara that's caught. Falstad jumps out. Sage is looking for an Entomb. Big Hinterland Blast, and Sir Mac and Cheese is almost certainly dropping. That's a two-man maw. This 5v4 really didn't turn out well for the Minion Miners. Leaves Marshall basically stuck, mopping up a big mess for the rest of his team. Efficient camp clear, but there's a clear advantage right now. It's gonna be rough for Minion Miners from here on in. Post 20, the advantage definitely lies with the team that has the Leoric buried alive. Nexus clears out the camp efficiently, but ProBUs is already putting on more pressure. There's a level disadvantage, and it is going to be likely used to a high degree of efficiency. Minion Miners is really going to have to refine their approach. Okay, that's Law of Order. Law and Order. I haven't seen that talent ever. We'll see if Himibo can make good use of it.
Dragon Knight's ancient strength.
So far, neither side is really getting that much when it comes to value. Ooh, Himibo takes a lot of damage there. Another Hinterland Blast, just thrown out. Not a care in the world. Himibo, don't take it. You know it's not safe. Marshall, looking clear.
My husband.
But
earn his power
16 is still not up. There it is. Percent damage, self-healing, armor reduction, burning halo. Oh, Marshall's probably going to drop. Oh, he lives. Thanks to a well-timed Bright Wing save. There's no DK for either side just yet. Himibo's going to have to try to work hard to actually get a kill here. Uh-oh. Burning Q just barely misses. But John is going to be an absolute anathema to Himibo now without percent damage. Let's just watch it go to town here. Oh, that's absurd. Oh, Himibo's way out of position. Just disappears. That means another DK is extremely likely for ProBUs. Marshall just disengages safely. And walk in soup. Sir Mac and Cheese. Do likewise. Gonna be rough. This DK is exactly what Minion Miners doesn't want to face right now. They're just going to slowly lose to attrition at this point. Mac and Cheese almost certainly going to get caught by a stun here. Oh. It happens to the best of us. I can't name a Meridian player who doesn't miss their Q when it counts. Myself included in that. Such is life. Means there isn't a fort quite yet for the... Well, a keep. There isn't a keep quite yet. What comes next, though? Huh. AoE turrets. Haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, but pretty much every camp is going to be taken here, and the race to 20 is going to be won by ProBUs, so it's going to be a tense period for Minion Miners. If they want to win, they're going to have to either go for broke now or play safe for the rest of the game. Instantaneous cleanse, and Himibo is almost certainly dead here. 4-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no! Well, 3-man mosh pit, but you got the picture. There's a very real chance of Minion Miners just dropping here and now. That's rough. Them's the beans. don't want it. It just disappears, and that's game number 2. GG. Alright, I don't have time to do an interview because I've got an essay due in like 5 hours, give or take. GG's to both teams. I'll try to get it uploaded by Monday.